today we are going to be looking at the Mechs, the brute Mechs from Chapter 1 Season X, returning to Fortnite. I'm going to be breaking down why these Mechs are going to be coming back, if they're going to be coming back, and how you can help stop them from coming back. Let's actually jump right into the video. To start it off, for those who don't know, this season there is a new thing called the War Effort Funding Boards, and most of you guys probably already know about this, so don't click off the video, but just for those who don't know, these funding boards are areas on the map where we can all pitch in our gold bars to actually bring ourselves back an item that we really want to play with again. And for this first one, we actually picked the Shockwave Launcher, which was the obvious better option of the two out of the Rift to Go and the Shockwave Launcher. I'm really happy that we actually chose this one, but my opinion's out of the way. Let's actually get into how this ties into the Mechs coming back to Fortnite. And if you guys have not already guessed by now, basically Hypex and Sheena B are two really big leakers in the Fortnite community who are very trustworthy on these leaks. Typically, they do not get things wrong. They say that later in this season, Epic is planning to add a funding board for the Mechs at the end of Season 8. Now, what that means is that at the end of Season 8, exactly like it said, we are actually going to have the option to unvault the Mechs or unvault something else depending on what we spend our gold bars on. Now, personally, guys, I absolutely hated the Mechs. Chapter 1 Season 10 was the only season that I ever actively disliked Fortnite. Now, that being said, I love it today. I love playing Fortnite. It's an amazing game. I think that Chapter 2 Season 8 is probably one of the best seasons. Chapter 2 is definitely rivaling Season 7 for that top spot right now, in my opinion. But back in Chapter 1 Season 10, that was not fun. Playing against Mechs, you would just get dominated by them in half a second, and your HP bar would just be deleted. Let me know what you guys think about the Mechs in the comments down below, because honestly, I have a personal vendetta against them. I absolutely hate these things, but I know that some people did actually like them, and that's okay too. But later in the season, we are actually going to have the option to vote these back into the game, or we're going to be able to vote back in something else. Now, Hypex and Sheena BR have not actually said what the other option is going to be, but hopefully it's something that is a lot more balanced and a lot more cool than the Mechs, because if the Mechs get added back into the game, let's just say I'm not going to be having a fun time. Now, there actually have been some changes to the Mechs, and this kind of does prove the point that the Mechs are going to be coming back, because Fortnite has actually added some changes to the Mechs, making them a lot easier to use in the newer seasons. Now, obviously, back in Chapter 1 Season 10, there was not the swimming function in the game. Swimming only got added in the game in Chapter 2 Season 1, so that means that the Mechs wouldn't really be compatible with water. So Mechs can now actually float on water in this new update patch that Fortnite has actually added to them. Now, obviously, since they're not currently in the game, this doesn't really mean anything, but if we end up voting them back in at the end of Chapter 2 Season 8, then we will actually see this effect get put into place, and the Mechs will now actually be able to float on the water. Do not ask me why Epic thinks it's a good idea to have Mechs that can float on the water and fly down the rivers while shooting infinite ammo rockets at you. Personally, I don't think it's a good idea, but hey, maybe this will actually be a lot better than it sounds. Let me know what you guys think of it down in the comments. Now, along with that, there are better charging effects on the Mechs. I'm not really sure what this means. It really could just mean anything. It could mean that you charge your shots quicker, you could charge them slower, you could have better visuals when you're actually charging them to let the person that you're shooting at know that they are about to get absolutely blown to pieces and that they are going to die. It could be a ton of different things, so that one's a little bit ambiguous. Now, let's actually look at the other two, which in-game really do nothing, but they are kind of fun. The emote props now have a proper size, so basically what this means is that if you actually ever use an emote with a Mech, say you're using the ready when you are emote, this stopwatch will actually be the right size relative to the Mech, instead of being a super tiny stopwatch that your Mech is holding in his giant hands. It'll just make it a lot nicer when you're using those types of emotes in-game. And finally, the Mechs now have a robotic vocal cords effect for voice chat, and what this means is that when you're actually speaking in-game in voice chat, you will now have a voice filter on that will make yourself sound kind of like an auto-tuned robot.
Plus, now you gotta pay for the desk, too. This was imported Italian maple.
Which, honestly, I think is kind of a cool update. I think it's just a little quality of life one that not a lot of people will actually notice at first, but once you actually start playing more with the Mechs, it will start to be much more noticeable, especially if you're playing in a squads fills type game. So to recap everything that I've said in this video, the Mechs are going to be coming back at the end of Chapter 2 Season 8, but only if we vote them into the game through the funding boards. So my message to the community, guys, is please do not vote for the mechs when they come back to the funding boards, guys. I'm desperate here. We cannot have these things back in the game, guys. No, but in all seriousness, if you want the mechs back, then hey, go ahead and vote for them. I cannot tell you what to do with your gold bars, but personally, I know that I will be voting for whatever is the opposite of the mechs on these voting boards when they actually come out. But this is everything you need to know about the mechs in Chapter 2, Season 8. If you guys found this video helpful or enjoyed it, please consider leaving a like on it and subscribing to the channel. I just hit 9,000 subscribers, which is absolutely insane. Thank you guys so much for that. It's an amazing landmark. But do just note that at 10,000 subscribers, I will be having an awesome video that will actually be celebrating that. Stay tuned for it because it's going to be related to my channel. And here, I'll give you guys a bit of a hint. It's based around Fortnite fishing, but not in the way that you would actually expect. Stay tuned for that. Make sure you stay subscribed if you actually want to see that and help me get to that 10,000 landmark so that I can actually release that video. But like I said, like, subscribe if you enjoyed this video. I hope you guys all have an amazing day, and I will see you guys in the next one.